Alira Ryan was just a regular 9-year-old girl, living a quiet life in a sleepy suburban neighborhood where the biggest excitement came from weekend trips to the park and occasional visits to her grandmother's old house. But on one ordinary afternoon, while exploring the attic of that very house, everything changed. The attic was a place of forgotten memories, filled with dusty boxes, yellowed photos, and faded trinkets from the past. It was there, hidden beneath layers of old blankets, that Alira found an ornate chest. Unlike anything she'd ever seen, the chest was covered in intricate swirling patterns that seemed to shift when she looked at them, as if they were alive. Unable to resist the pull of curiosity, Alira opened the chest, and inside lay a peculiar object, a glowing stone, smooth to the touch, yet pulsing with an eerie energy. The moment her fingers brushed against it, a bolt of energy surged through her body. Her vision blurred, and in an instant, she was transported to a place beyond her imagination. Alien landscapes unfolded before her eyes, towering cities made of crystal, skies painted with colors no human had ever seen, and strange creatures moving in harmony with their surroundings. Just as quickly as the vision came, it vanished, leaving Alira breathless and confused. The artifact remained in her hand, now cool and still, but she could feel something stirring within her, something that wasn't there before. That night, Alira's dreams took a strange turn. She was no longer running through familiar fields or flying over make-believe kingdoms. Instead, she found herself standing on an alien world, its twin moons hanging in the sky like silent sentinels. Strange beings moved around her, their features blurry but their presence unmistakable. And somewhere in the distance, a shadow lurked, watching her. When she awoke, drenched in sweat, her bedroom seemed different. Objects trembled, the air buzzed with energy, and her computer screen flickered, despite being turned off. Over the following days, more strange things began to happen. Objects in her room would move on their own, as if responding to her thoughts. She would hear her parents speak, but their voices seemed to echo in her mind even before the words left their mouths. Even the neighborhood animals started acting oddly around her. Cats would purr and follow her, while birds seemed to perch and watch her movements. It was both exhilarating and terrifying, and Alira didn't know what to make of it. As time passed, the dreams became more vivid, each one revealing more about the alien world she had glimpsed. She saw their cities, their people, and always the shadow in the distance. It was during one of these dreams that she heard a voice. "You are one of us," it whispered. "We have waited for you." Back in the real world, Alira couldn't shake the feeling that the artifact was more than just a strange object. It felt alive, like it was calling to her. One night, under the pale glow of the moon, she took the artifact out to her backyard. As she held it in her hands, it began to pulse again, the air around her shimmering as if reality itself was bending. Suddenly, a glowing portal opened before her, and from it stepped a figure, tall, slender, with glowing blue eyes that seemed to pierce through the night. The figure introduced himself as Vern, a representative of an ancient alien civilization, long hidden from human eyes. He explained that the artifact Alira had found was no ordinary object, it was a powerful summoning device, and she was its chosen keeper. According to Vern, Alira was part of an ancient lineage, a guardian meant to protect the balance between Earth and his people's world. The visions she had been experiencing were not dreams, but glimpses of a connection that spanned centuries. But Vern's presence also brought a warning: danger was near. A malevolent force from the darkest reaches of the universe had sensed Alira's awakening powers, and it was coming for her. Alira, overwhelmed by the revelations, was determined to learn more. With Vern's guidance, she began to explore the full extent of her abilities. What started as minor telekinesis, moving small objects across the room, soon evolved into more powerful feats. She could control energy, bending it to her will, and even read the thoughts and emotions of those around her. But with great power came great danger. Alira noticed she was being followed, not just in the waking world but in her dreams as well. A sinister man with cold, empty eyes seemed to appear wherever she went, watching her from the shadows. At school, he would sit at the edge of the playground, or she'd catch glimpses of him in crowded places. And in her dreams, his form twisted and monstrous, he would whisper, "Your power belongs to me." Each night the presence grew stronger, and Aelira knew she was running out of time. Verne, sensing the imminent threat, urged Aelira to focus on mastering her abilities. They trained in secret, far from prying eyes, in the woods near her home. The deeper Aelira delved into her powers, the more she understood about her connection to Verne's people, and the enormous responsibility she bore. The artifact, always close by, seemed to hum with approval as she grew stronger, but the shadowy man, now revealed as a powerful interdimensional entity, closed in. The confrontation came one stormy evening. Aelira, feeling the ominous presence looming closer, braced herself for what was to come. The man appeared in her backyard, his form no longer human but a grotesque figure of darkness and malice. He demanded the artifact, and with it, control over Aelira's powers. The ground shook as Aelira refused, unleashing a surge of energy that lit up the night sky. Verne stood by her side as the battle unfolded, a clash of raw, untamed power against a force of darkness that threatened both Earth and the alien world connected to it. The fight was fierce, testing every ounce of Aelira's courage and skill. Energy crackled through the air, objects flying, the very fabric of reality tearing at the seams as Aelira and the malevolent entity clashed. Despite her fear, Aelira tapped into the deepest parts of her abilities, summoning a power she hadn't known existed within her. With one final, desperate move, she unleashed a wave of energy so powerful it pushed the dark figure back into the shadows, severing his hold on both worlds. Though the battle was over, Aelira knew it wasn't the end. The shadow had been defeated, but it wasn't destroyed, only delayed. She had won this round, but more challenges awaited her. Standing in the aftermath of the fight, the artifact glowing softly in her hand, Aelira realized that her life would never be the same again. She had saved her world, and in doing so, had forged a new path, a path where she would be the guardian of both Earth and the alien civilization connected to her by fate. As she looked toward the night sky, Aelira knew her journey had only just begun.